So we're on page 145 in grammar. So go ahead and turn to page 145. And you probably noticed that we're getting pretty far in our grammar books. Once we finish this book, we're done with grammar and we'll just focus on the writing part of class. So getting closer. Okay, we're reviewing today prepositions. You guys know about those. And you've seen a list of prepositions before. I'm just going to check something because I think, okay. A preposition starts a phrase that shows the relationship between a noun or pronoun and another word in the sentence. So here we have the soldier fell into the moat. Into shows the relationship between the soldier and the moat. Do you guys know what a moat is? Have you heard that before? Anybody know what a moat is? Christopher, do you know what a moat is? Tell us what it is. A moat.
I think it's like it's like a deep pool of water you put around a building.
Like a castle, right? That's right. And maybe you've seen movies like that where there's, people that live in a castle, maybe a prince and princess, and then around the castle is water. And a lot of times they put crocodiles in there or like really scary fish so that people don't try to swim across it. It's like a protection from the castle. So that's what a moat is. You don't want
like guards.
like guards, yeah, but they're vicious water creatures. You don't want to fall into a moat, okay? If you ever see one, just don't go inside of it. But anyway, it says, and so this soldier, poor guy, he did fall into the moat. That's not good. The soldier, oh, here it says it shows where the soldier fell. So the preposition here is into. And then the prepositional phrase is into the moat. And you guys have been marking those in your grammar book, so you're pretty good about those. Here it says the soldier jumped over the moat. Over shows the relationship between soldier and moat. It shows where the soldier jumped over the moat. And so over is the preposition, and then the prepositional phrase is over the moat. Write a sentence with a prepositional phrase that shows the relationship between princess and bridge. Okay, think about that for a second. We're going to think of a sentence with the words princess and bridge, and think of a word that shows the relationship. Like, how are we going to tie together princess and bridge? Does anybody have any ideas of a sentence with princess and bridge? Mariah, what do you think?
Like the bridge, like a rope bridge, or
Wait, say that one more time.
like a rope bridge,
A
or
real bridge. Yeah.
the princess walked on the bridge to get to the castle.
Yeah, that would be a good sentence. So the princess walked on the bridge. So on is a preposition and on the bridge is a prepositional phrase. So that will work. Anybody have any other ideas? Okay, well, let's go with that one then. Let's write that. The princess walked on the bridge. I know you said to get to the castle, but we'll make it a short sentence this time just so it's less to write down. But so the princess walked on the bridge. You can write that down on yours. And on is your preposition, and on the bridge is your prepositional phrase. Remember, prepositional phrases do not have verbs. The clauses do, like when you have a who or which clause, or a because clause, or that clause, any of those clauses, they all have verbs. But these phrases, prepositional phrases, do not have verbs. So on the bridge does not have a verb. So that's a good prepositional phrase. It says down here, answer these questions orally. That just means you're going to say the answer. We don't have to write it on this one. Does anybody know what the prepositional phrase pattern is? That's kind of a weird question, and that I don't know if we really talked about that a whole lot, but I'm going to tell you what it is. It is, I'm going to have you write this down. Even though it says orally, I'm going to have you write this down just so we can remember. It's preposition plus noun. Whoops, let me move that over a little. Preposition plus noun. There's no verb in there. It's only a preposition plus a noun. And a preposition, remember that list of words we looked at a while back? We're going to flip back to that page in a minute just so you can refresh your memory on what prepositions are. You guys already know what a noun is. A noun is a person, place, or thing, right? You know that. That's an easy one. Okay, so preposition plus noun, that's the pattern for the prepositional phrase. Oh, excuse me. I was like waiting for that to come out. So I want you guys, oh, thank you. I want you guys to go back to, it's kind of far back, but I want you to go back to page 43. And you should have a Post-it there that says prepositions. Remember way back when we made that little Post-it? If you have that there, just go to that page.
Yeah, I have that.
Good. Go back to the Post-it page where it says prepositions and look at the bottom of that page. It's page 43. And at the bottom, you see aboard, about, above, according to, across, after, against, along, amid, among. All of these words, by the way, they're in alphabetical order for you, which is nice. These are the prepositions. So when you're looking for a preposition, a prepositional phrase, you're looking for one of these words. Some of the more popular ones are in or by or as, at, those little words, for, of, to. Some of those little words, those are the really common ones. But just so you can see the whole list here, these are all the prepositions. Okay, now go back to the page we were working on. Well, actually what I want you to do is kind of keep your finger on this page or keep it open a little bit because it says list 5 prepositions. List 5 prepositions. So we are going to write these down actually. So go back to this page and I would pick the short words, the ones that only have 2 letters. Those are easy. Like as and at, we can write those down. As and at. There's in and of, in, with, good. That's 5. You can write more down, but that's 5. So if you put as, at, in, of, and with. Oh yeah, did you say if too? Is that one on there?
Over.
Not if, over, yeah. Of, we already got that one. To, that's another good one. I might add that one on there. So we actually put 6, but okay. So we're done with that page 43. So let's stay on this one, page 145, is where we're at today. And it says at the bottom here, many words can be used as different parts of speech. However, a word can perform only one part of speech at a time. For example, since can be a preposition. By the way, the word since is on that list that we just looked at on page 45 or 43. That begins a prepositional phrase, and since can be a WWW word that begins an adverb clause. Do you guys remember the www.asia.b? Remember what those words are? Does anybody remember? Can you tell us? What are the three W's? Mariah, you remember?
I think one of them was who, what, and where.
Close. It's when, while, where. When, while, where. And then what is Asia? As,
As.
remember the next one? Although, as, since, if, although, and then because. So it's when, while, where, as, since, if, although, because. That's the www.asia.b. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so the word since is the S in Asia, and it is a preposition. So it depends on how it's used in the sentence. So here it's showing you as a prepositional phrase, it says, the princess has been sick since yesterday. Remember, prepositional phrases do not have a verb. They only have a noun. So you have your preposition plus your noun right here, since yesterday. That's the pattern. But look down a little bit further where it says adverb clause. The princess has been sick since she ate the apples. That one has a verb, ate. It's an action, right? So that is an adverb clause, since she ate the apples. So if you see a verb next to it, that's going to make it a clause. If you don't see a verb, that's going to make it a prepositional phrase. That's the difference, okay? And the pattern down at the very bottom here says www word since plus subject she plus verb ate. That makes it an adverb clause. Do you guys have any questions about this page at all? No? Okay.
No.
Good. Let's turn to the actual practice page. Anybody want to volunteer to read the page today? Our sentence? Okay, Lacey, thank you. Go ahead and read that.
Grew to the floor, out the window, and over the lush lawn.
Are we talking about her nose? What are we talking about? Oh, yeah, her nose is growing. It reminds me of another story I know. Do you know another story that where the nose grows on
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio? Yes.
Yeah,
But his was, why was his nose growing? Do you remember what he did that made his nose grow, Lacey?
because he was lying.
He was lying, right? But her nose, the princess, why is her nose growing? You remember?
Because she apples.
She ate apples. She ate like a lot of apples, huh?
She ate both.
And it grew and grew to the floor. That's pretty bad. How are you going to walk around if your nose is like dragging on the floor? And out the window and over the lawn. She's probably just like stuck, like, I can't move. My nose is too big. Somebody help me. Does anyone know the vocabulary word lush? Do you know what that word means? Lush.
Lush.
Do you know? Yeah, lush. What do you think, Lacey? What is lush?
Green.
Green, yes. And I think it also means like when your grass is really green, that's a good word to describe it, and it's just full. Like there's no blank spots. It's like nice, and it's the kind of grass you want to take off your shoes and run around on the grass, you know, super soft and full of green leaves. So that's the vocabulary. That actually is an adjective describing the lawn. So remember that when you think about the adjectives. So there are 3 articles. Go ahead and find those by yourself. Okay. And then there are 3 nouns. So Mariah, where are the 3 nouns?
There's window,
Yeah,
floor,
good,
and lawn.
good. That's right. We have 1 pronoun. What do you think, Liana? Where's the pronoun?
Oh no.
Remember, they take the place of a noun. So Not, well, in this, it could be like he or she, but we don't see any of that in there, but it could be it or them, some other type of pronoun.
It grew.
Yeah, there you go. It. Because it's talking about her nose. And obviously her nose is not a boy or a girl. It's a thing, right? So we're gonna use the pronoun it to refer to her nose. All right, there is one adjective. I kind of gave it away earlier, Lacey. Which one is the adjective?
Lush.
Yes, good. It's describing the lawn, which is a noun. So lush is the adjective. Good job. And then there's two coordinating conjunctions, Christopher. Do you see where those are?
And and.
And. Good. And can you turn down your computer a little bit? Are you on a laptop? So I can see you better. Like tilt it down a little. There, that's better. And. And then we're going to skip the prepositional phrases and come back. So Mariah, help us find the verbs. There's two verbs in here.
Grew.
Grew
And other girl.
and the other grew. Good. Somebody's singing in the background there. That's cute.
It's the TV for the
James,
kids. Yeah, James and Ava.
keep him busy.
Yeah.
That's cute. Okay, good. That grew and grew. Those are the verbs. And then Mariah, what about the subject? What are we talking about? What grew and grew? What word is the subject here? So
The lawn.
say that again.
The lawn.
No, not the lawn. That's way down here. It's usually before it. So look right before grew and grew.
The floor. Floor there. And
It, because it's talking about her nose grew and grew. Remember that part from before? Her nose is growing, but in this sentence, it's it, because that is referring to her nose. Now the prepositional phrase, Liana, do you see where that is? There's two of them. There's three of them, actually. So look for a word that does not have a label on it yet. That's one of your clues. And that's the preposition. And then you can see the phrase.
Is it over?
Over is one. So what's the whole phrase though?
Over the lush lawn.
There you go. Good. That's one. There's two more.
Out.
Out. Good. What's the whole phrase?
Out the window.
Yes. Good. And there's one more.
To the floor.
To the floor. Excellent. Nice job. And then Lacey, what about the capital?
It's it.
The I and it, because that's the first word. And then we just need a period for the end mark there. And then we're done. Good job, you guys. So your homework for this week will be the next 3 pages. Does anyone have any questions about this page that we just did?
No.
Okay. Okay, good. Let's get out our binders. You guys worked on a fun story this week. Did you like writing a creative story? Yeah, thumbs up. Good. So it was about the overdressed children, or you could write your own story. So I haven't had a chance to read them yet on Google Classroom, but does anybody want to read their story to the class today that you wrote? Anybody feel like reading it? You don't have to, but if you want to, you can. Did anybody kind of not like writing about that? Was that kind of hard to do? Or it seems like everybody kind of liked it. It's different because normally we're used to writing like reports, right? We usually do a report or something. That's more like academic writing. You read something and then you tell about it. But this time it was like you had to be creative and just come up with your own version of the story. How many of you wrote about the overdressed children? Give me a thumbs up if you wrote about that one. Okay, and how many of you made up your own story? Did anybody make up their own story that with your own characters and situation? I don't see anybody's hands. Okay, you wrote about the overdressed children, which was kind of funny because they were just wanting to play in the snow. I mean, that's all they wanted to do was play in the snow. And the mom's like, you have to put this beanie on, you have to put this jacket on and put these pants on and put these special boots on. And then you have to put these gloves on and then you have to put this scarf on. And then they get out there and it's like, they're stuck. So that was
like, it's so fun in the snow.
right. Yeah. Thanks, Mom. This is great. Yeah, that's right. All right. So nobody feels like reading it today. That's fine. You don't have to, but I do want to go ahead and put this away. Except for that pink page. You know that pink page? I really like that page that has all of the ly adverbs on it. I think I told you guys this, but I recommend asking your mom or dad if it's okay to tape this up on the wall by where you work. Yeah, that page, Liana. This is awesome. I mean, look at this. You can pick so many different words here because sometimes we get stuck on the same ly words like surprisingly or occasionally, you know, some of the stuff that we use all the time, but this has a lot of choices here and that'll really help your writing. So if you can, ask your mom or your dad if it's okay to tape this on the wall by where you work. If it's in the kitchen or if it's in your bedroom or in an office somewhere, wherever you like to work. Now, some students, they work all over the place. Maybe they're on the couch or on a bed or outside. Maybe you don't have a designated spot. You can keep it in your binder in the front pocket, okay? But if you have a spot that you always do your work, see if it's okay to tape it up on the wall. It's nice to have handy. So don't put this one away. But everything else with overdressed children, you can put that away. This yellow one, that one goes behind the model charts and outlines tab. This one, we're keeping all the yellow pages together here on this part where it says model charts and outlines. So put it after all those other yellow pages, stick it in there. Don't forget to close your rings when you're done putting it inside there because so many people mess up their binders. But the yellow one, this one goes in model charts and outlines. Okay. Then the rest of your stuff for overdressed children can go behind finished compositions or wherever you keep your finished work. Whoops. Remember this one? Finished compositions, it goes there behind all that stuff. Don't forget to close your rings when you're done putting it away. Put all the stuff for overdressed children back in there. And then close your rings and then get the next one out. That's going to be toward the front. Right here behind source text tab. The next one, we have one more fun story to write. This is another creative story called Book and Dinosaurs. So go ahead and get out week 15. Once you get it out, close those rings up. It's only 3 pages this time.
A little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I had I don't know where my binder is because I tried checking the box, not there. I remember seeing it in my sister's room, and then I was gonna get it, but then I forgot about it, and then she reorganized her room, so I don't know where it is now.
Oh, so you don't know where your binder is? Okay. Well, you'll just have to listen for today. And then if you can't find your binder, if it's lost forever, just make sure your mom emails me, okay? So that I can send some stuff to you. Okay. There is one more fun story after this, so it's kind of nice to take a break from all the academic writing. But this one is called Book and Dinosaurs. So you're going to keep overdressed children in your, keep not overdressed children. You're going to keep this pink page in your binder for now. But remember, put it up on a wall if it's okay with your parents. And this is what we're going to talk about next. And you do need, hold on, you do not need a lined piece of paper. I thought you did for a second, but you don't. Give me a thumbs up when you have Book and Dinosaurs out. Awesome. I see that. You have it, Lacey? Are you working on it? Oh, she's working on it. Okay. Book and Dinosaur. This is a good one. Okay. Check something really quick. You got it, Lacey? Okay, good. Okay. So we don't really need this one. Just keep it with your stuff. But we're going to go straight to the pictures here. And you're going to notice probably right away, you're going to notice this box down here. There's a giant X over it. That just means we don't know the ending to this story. That is going to be up to you how this story ends. So let's just take a peek at the first box, or the square right here on the picture. Who can tell me what they see? What is the central fact? What is happening in this picture right here? Anybody want to tell me? Liana, what do you see?
He's looking at a book about dinosaurs.
There you go. There's a boy looking at a book about dinosaurs, and his face kind of looks like he's smiling, like he's having fun looking at this book. And what's happening in this picture, the next picture here, what's literally there? You want to say, let me hear. Christopher, is your hand up? Can you tell us what's happening? No, he's like, no. Lacey, what's happening in this picture?
The book comes alive with all the dinosaurs.
Yes, the book comes alive with all the dinosaurs. And how do you think the boy feels right there, Lacey?
Like,
Like what?
what just happened?
Yeah, he's like, whoa. Might be a little
Come
scared.
alive.
Yeah, that was crazy. It reminds me of Jumanji. Has anybody seen that movie before? Jumanji? No. It kind of reminds me of that movie where the game comes alive. I think that's what it is for that one.
Oh yeah, it has the rock in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it like a little bit,
Yeah.
then like I stopped.
Yeah. I think there's another one though that where the book comes alive. Have you guys ever seen a movie about that? I feel like there's another one, but I can't think of the name of it right now. But
I think so.
I think so. But anyway, it's a fantasy, right? This isn't really going to happen in real life. So this is where you get to be creative on what's going to happen here. That looks like a T-Rex, and we know that those are carnivores, right? They eat meat. So I don't blame you for being scared. And then what about this one? Does anybody know what kind of dinosaur that one is? I knew you would know, Christopher. What is this one?
Triceratops.
Triceratops. Very good. So I think they're also carnivores, aren't they, Christopher? No?
Vegetarian, I think.
Oh, maybe. Still scary though.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to be around. Oh, there's another one right in the middle. I can see it now. Do you know what kind that one is, Christopher? The one right in the middle? I don't know that one either. It's got like kind of a big horn sticking up right there. You know what it is, Lacey?
No, but you can tell by the teeth that of their carnivores or vegetarian?
Yeah, I agree with that. It's hard to see this guy's teeth though. He's got like, I don't know, like two in the front, it looks like. This one, the Triceratops.
it looks like he has like no teeth.
It's weird. I agree. I mean, the T-Rex, you can definitely see his teeth, and they are sharp. So he's definitely a meat eater.
Yeah, he chews them up.
I hope not. We don't want this story to go gory or anything. So try not to let it go too gory. And then anybody have any ideas about what do you think could happen at the end of this story? So he's having a good day. He's reading this nice book about dinosaurs. All of a sudden, the dinosaurs come alive, and he's like, oh my gosh, oh no, what am I going to do? And then what do you think? Can you brainstorm for a minute? Do you have any ideas? Liana, what do you think?
Maybe he's in his house and he runs to his room and then they try to break the door open.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's kind of a scary, suspenseful story. What do you think, Mariah?
But he could probably be jumping out a window.
Oh, yeah, just to get away. You have an idea, Lacey?
They become best friends?
Yeah, that's a happier ending, huh? They become best friends. You know, I'm thinking of now I'm always thinking of a movie, I guess, but have you ever seen Night at the Museum before?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that too when when all the statues come alive and all the all the stuff in the museum comes alive at night. And at first the guy was pretty scared, but then he made friends with everybody. Right? And it was actually kind of a cute story. So what I want to do next is turn this over to the back where it's blank on the back side. And I just want to remind you of the questions you're going to ask as you work on this story. So who remembers the big 6 question words that we ask? There's 6 of them all together. Anybody remember what those are? Starts with, we're just going to make a list in the middle of this page. So it starts with who.
Where?
Okay, where is one? I'm going to do who,
The
what, when, and then where, who, what, when, where, why, and how. Remember how we drew a giant question mark next to that? Go ahead and do that. So who, what, when, where, why, how. Those are the big 6 questions. And then you're going to draw a line. We had some extra questions to ask. You guys remember the extra ones that we talked about?
The asked, those?
No, it's like what's happening outside the frame of the picture. Remember we said outside?
Because I think that's what I said.
Oh, no, that's not really a question word, but you're thinking of, we're going to talk about because in a minute, but I'm wondering like, what are some questions we can ask about the pictures to help us come up with a story? Remember invisible was one.
Oh yeah.
Outside, invisible, before and after. And then draw another line. You could put a big question mark next to that one too. These are questions like to help you come up with a story. Because remember how we talked about when you think, when your brain is thinking, what you're doing without even realizing it is asking yourself questions inside. And your brain is thinking. So these questions trigger ideas. That's why we want to remember these as we're coming up with stories. There's a few more. So think, say, and do. And let's add feel here too. And then a big question mark. So think, say, do, and feel. Now, when we're stuck on what to write about, we can look at the picture and ask some of these questions. Give me a thumbs up when you got all the questions written down. Okay, and Mariah, did you just write them on a regular piece of paper?
Oh, I had screenshotted it, so when I find my binder, I'll write it on the
Okay.
back.
Okay. Christopher, did you get them all written down? Okay, and Lacey, are you good? You got it. Okay, good. Let's go back then to the front. And now we can ask questions like who, that's a question word. Who is this boy? And now here's okay, before we get too deep into that, hold on a second. I'm going to let it be up to you, like I did before. You can choose whether or not you want to use this keyword outline. For some students, this is hard to do for this type of writing. But if you like having some words already written down for you here, you can use this. So I'm going to do this with you in class. But when you go to write your story, if you like to just sit down and start writing, that's okay with me. Make sure that your first paragraph is about this picture. Your second paragraph is about this picture, and then you're going to make up how you want this story to end. So asking these questions. So let's look at the central fact. We already know it's a boy. Does anybody want to tell me a boy's name that you like? Mariah, how about you?
There's Taylor.
Taylor.
There's Brian, Luke.
Okay.
Nicole,
Taylor, Brian, Luke. I think
Nikolai.
Nikolai. Lacey has one. What's a boy name?
James.
James?
James and Charlie.
And Charlie. And Mariah's little nephew James is with her today. That's a cute one. And Liana, do you have a boy name?
Jack.
I like that. Jack. How about you, Christopher?
Nicholas.
Nicholas. So you put the boy name that you want for your story. I'm gonna put Jack here. But you put whatever boy name you want in your story because you get to make that up. Okay. And then I'm going to put the word book and dinosaur. Dinosaurs with an S. Okay. Remember that word, these words, central fact, that just means like literally what's happening in the picture. So we have to start with that. From there, we're going to start asking other questions like why? That's a good question word. Remember, that's one of our words back here. Why?
Oh.
Why is he reading a book about dinosaurs? Why do you guys think he's doing that? Mariah?
Probably about his history exam.
It's like his history. Is that what you said?
Yeah, like his history exam. He needs to.
Exam?
Yeah.
Maybe he's studying for an exam.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe. Anybody
About
else?
dinosaurs.
Huh?
About dinosaurs.
Yeah, I guess because, that was in history a long time ago. So maybe he's going to take a test on it about dinosaurs. I don't know. You can make it up. What's another reason why he's reading a book about dinosaurs?
Maybe because he likes dinosaurs.
He likes dinosaurs. That's always a good one.
Maybe like a bedtime story.
Oh, yeah. Could be a bedtime story. I wouldn't want to go to bed after this happens, though.
Yeah.
But this would be fine. Yeah, sure. I can read that before bed. What if he's at the library? Maybe maybe his mom took the family to the library. Has your mom or dad ever done that with you guys? Sometimes you just
Yeah,
library.
I had to go to the library because we meet with our Monday teacher.
Okay. And Lacey, I saw your hand go up there.
Yeah.
You go to the library too sometimes? Yeah. That's cool. So, sometimes you go to the library to look for something really specific, right? If you're told you have to do a report on something, then you look for that. But sometimes you go to the library and you're just kind of wandering around like, what do I feel like reading? I don't know. What about dinosaurs? Where are the dinosaur books? And you go and ask the librarian, excuse me, can you help me find the dinosaur books? And she's like, oh yeah, go down the third aisle down, halfway down. At the bottom shelf, you'll see all the books about dinosaurs. And then you just pick one up and go find a chair and sit down and look at it. So it could be that he's at the library. Okay. So you can start writing things down here. If you like the idea that it's bedtime, you would put like bedtime, story, and maybe he's in his bedroom, his room, or you could put library, studying for test or something like that. So just you can brainstorm here. And like I said earlier, if it's easier for you to just write it without filling this out, that's okay with me too. I just wanted to show you what you can do. Okay, so let's pretend it is his bedtime and he's reading the story in his room. Where did he get the book? Where do you think he got the book from? Liana, what do you think?
From his shelf?
From his shelf in his room, maybe? Mariah, what do you think?
Maybe he went to like his school library and he borrowed it.
Yep, that's a good one. You remember where is on our question list, so that's a good one. So we could say on bookshelf, or from class library or from school library. What else could we ask? We could jump down here, like, what is he thinking? What is he thinking in this picture? Does anybody have any ideas what he's thinking? It looks like it's hard to see the picture that he's looking at. I'm not sure what dinosaur it is, but maybe he's wondering dinosaur eats, maybe.
Yeah, maybe he's wondering if they're like vegetarian or not.
Yeah. And I'm going to put the word eat here, even though I know it's banned. But in your notes, it's okay to have eat. But when you go to write your story, make sure you don't use eat, because that is a banned word. But yeah, you're wondering, he might be wondering, I wonder if this one's a vegetarian. Maybe I could have one as a pet if they ever come back to life, which they will. But maybe he's thinking, man, that would have been cool to live during dinosaur days. And
And then when it comes out, he's like, never mind.
yeah, he's like, never mind, forget it. No, I really don't want to. What else could we? So maybe if you think about what he's gonna, one of our questions is down here, what is he gonna do next? Well, if he's reading a bedtime story, he's probably gonna go to bed. Or if he's in the library, maybe he's going to write a report about it. Or maybe he's going to go show his brother that's also at the library, and he's going to go show his brother this book. So you get the idea. What you're going to do is just keep asking yourself these questions back here to come up with a story.
Consume for eating or digest.
Yeah, consume or digest. Yep. Either one of those would work when you go to write the paragraph. That's good. Now let's move down here. We're going to start with central fact. Remember, that's literally what's happening in the picture. Literally, like, what do you see here? We kind of talked about it earlier that the dinosaurs came alive and we see him scared, right? So we can put dinosaurs alive and then scared, because Jack, or whatever, Nicholas, or whatever name you guys picked, is now scared. Obviously, you can see his face there. And he's jumping back. He's like, whoa. And then let's brainstorm for a minute. We got to decide for your story, is this going to go bad where they're destroying everything and we don't want anybody to die? So I don't want you to write about somebody dying, but maybe they're being attacked. Or is it going to go in a good direction where actually they come out of the book and then they become friends, like Lacey said? Maybe they, play
Maybe,
ball.
maybe the X, you know how he's at the library? Maybe it's the exit.
Oh, the exit? Oh, right here, this part? Yeah. He's like, I'm out of here. Leave the dinosaurs inside the library. But what do you guys think about once these dinosaurs come out? What do you think is going to happen next? Any ideas? Mariah?
They're gonna destroy stuff and
Destroy
because they're
stuff?
big.
They get really
Or-
big. Okay.
Or they're gonna go look for food.
Or they're going to go look for food. That's a good one.
Like fish.
They're hungry, like
Fish.
they're gonna look for fish. Okay, maybe there's a pond outside or a lake. What do you think, Liana?
I think that he's gonna run in his bedroom and then he's gonna hide under the covers, and then his mom's gonna come rushing and he's gonna like kick all the dinosaurs out of the way, and then he's gonna go inside and he realizes his mom, so he's not scared anymore.
Ah, that's a good one. I like it. Because moms are great that way. They protect us, right? I love that. That's a good
Maybe
one.
it could be his imagination.
Ah, that's not bad. That's a good idea. Maybe he's either imagining or dreaming. Maybe he fell asleep while he was reading this book. Ah, yeah, Lacey likes that idea. Because he's in his bedroom and maybe he's like reading and he puts his head down. Maybe he's just like, I'm so tired. And then he fell asleep. That's a good one. I like that. And then he's dreaming about this. Yeah. And then maybe here is when he wakes up, right? And he realizes, oh, thank goodness it was just a dream. It's not real. The dinosaurs are still inside the book. Yeah, you could even take that farther though. And maybe maybe it's a dream, but then when he wakes up, maybe the dinosaur like dropped a bone or something in the middle of his bedroom, and he might be like, whoa, why is this bone here? Was it real? Or was it just a dream? You can make it kind of like a mystery like that. Okay, you guys are on the right track. So your job this week is to write your story about this whole thing with the boy and the book and the dinosaurs. Like I said down here, you get to decide what happens here. So even though the central fact is really what's happening in the picture and it's blank, you can imagine what's happening and put the words here if you need to use the keyword outline, okay? I do want to show you something here on the checklist. We have a new item on the checklist. We want to talk about that. And it is a new dress up word. If you look at your list of dress ups at the bottom of the list, we have a new one. It says www.YLA Class. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words to underline. I know it's getting hard. This is part of this class is teaching you how to use these special words in your writing. But we talked about it earlier. So down here at the bottom, since there's a blank spot, I want you to write www.Asia clause. And notice it does not have a B on this one. Because when we were doing our grammar books, it was www.asia.b. And what was the letter B for? Do you guys remember what word that one was for? B. www.asia.b. Lacey?
Because
Good. It was for because, but guess what? We already have a because clause. So that's why we're not going to include because here, okay? Because it's already up here as its own clause. So let's remember, I know you guys remember this. What are the 3 W's again for the www part? Does anybody remember what those words are? Go ahead, Lacey.
when,
When, good.
where,
It's actually while next. So when, and then while, and then where. That's the www. When, while, where. And then how about Asia? As, since. You know what the I stands for? Christopher, do you know what I is for? If, and then although. So see how it says www and then ASIA, Asia? That's what the words are. So I want you to write these down and I want you to underline the first letter. So you can see the pattern. When, while, where, as, since, if, although. That's the pattern, and those are the words for this clause. And by the way, go ahead and just draw an arrow up here to the bottom box where it says www.asia. So you can see that, oh yeah, that goes with this. So now you are going to include one of these words down here in your dress ups. And remember, those are the words you underline. Okay. So you have your ly adverb still, that's still there. Your who, which clause, that's still there. Strong verb, because clause, quality adjective, and now a www.asia word. So 6 words to underline. I want to show you an example of a story that somebody else wrote. And I want you to see how they used all of those words. Okay. Let me get it really quick. Oops. Six words in each paragraph. So I know it's getting to be a lot, but it's going to make your writing so good. Like that's why we do this, because makes it so good when we use these words. So this is week 15. Let me find it really quick. Book and dinosaurs. Okay, this is just a sample of one of these stories. It says dinosaurs in the library. Okay, this is an example. And notice right away in this first paragraph, you can see these bold words. I see Jack. Hey, they use the same name. Jack. And then I see book. And then I see Jack here. And I see book, because that's the topic clincher. Remember, that's the first sentence. And then the last sentence of all the paragraphs. They have to have 2 to 3 key words. Remember that repeat or reflect. Okay, so Jack was reading a fascinating book about dinosaurs. Jack was at the library, which was where he was planning to check out more books. He was there because he had a PE class. It was nearly time for class, and Jack was almost done with his book. So we have fascinating. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words underlined. Can you guys see that? 6 dress ups. And this word right here that says where, I'm going to highlight it blue. That is a www.asia word. That's one of the W's. Okay, so that works. And then it says, as Jack was on the last page of his book, the lifelike volcano erupted and the dinosaurs emerged from the book. Jack yelped, "Yikes!" because of the ferociously frightening scene before him. There were Tyrannosaurus Rex, Triceratops, and more. The Tyrannosaurus Rex turned around and spotted Jack, whose skin went white. Jack wished he had not read that book. And notice there's Jack and book again for the topic clinchers. And then he used the word, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he's missing one at the www.asia words here. Let's check the last one. The dinosaurs were rampaging through the library. The librarian had fainted, and people were screaming in terror. Jack, who ran as fast as his wobbling legs could carry him, was no match for the speed of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Suddenly, all of the dinosaurs were sucked back into the book. Because of this, people stopped screaming, and the librarian woke up. Jack left for class and glad there were no dinosaurs in the library. So the librarian was asleep, it sounded like. So the librarian missed the whole scene. But I did notice that this student forgot to put www.asiaword in this paragraph too. So they got it in the first one. But your job, because this isn't a perfect paper, by the way, there are a couple of mistakes, but your job is going to be to put the www word in each paragraph too. Okay. So I just wanted to show you that example, but it is time to go. So have fun writing this story about this boy and the dinosaur and what happens with these dinosaurs that come out of the book. And don't forget to use your checklist. Okay. Any questions about the homework before you go? All right, you guys, have a good one. I'll see you next week.